She is calm, collected, and most importantly, thankful. Thankful for her friends and family that have already done so much and are traveling so far to be part of her special day. Thankful for wine, and thankful for all her failed relationships. Without her ex-boyfriends, Lauren would not have found her one true love. This is Lauren's second speech, titled "Thank You: An Ode to My Ex-Boyfriends."
I'm tormented. I can't stop thinking about those awful things I said to you. I want to take them all back. I want to turn back the clock. You didn't deserve to hear those things. I should have been more thoughtful. I should have been more careful. Like the time I said you were incredibly attractive, not true. Or the time I said you could do anything you set your mind to, you can't. Or the time I said you're the only person who could make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. Or the time I said you have plenty of hair left. Don't make me laugh. I sit back and realize that I was blind. But now that my eyes have been forced open by your departure, I'm relieved to finally tell you the truth. My parents never liked you. Your humor is awkward and uncomfortably self-conscious. You shouldn't be allowed to talk. Oh, and you're a really bad kisser. Okay. Have you ever poured your heart out onto a piece of paper and had in mind the perfect voice, tone, and cadence that you would actually say to somebody, but you didn't actually tell anybody? That's what those words are for me. We've all been there. Breakups suck. There's no way around it. And let's be honest, sometimes hurting somebody who hurt you actually feels really good. Breakups make people angry and spiteful, and they want to punch back. But are anger and revenge really the lessons to be learned? I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out later in a little bit. But first, as you heard, I'm getting married in 22 days. So it's crazy that I'm up here doing this. But, after thinking about everything and reflecting back on my past relationships, I realized that instead of being angry or indifferent toward my exes, I should really be thanking them, because without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I thought I might take this time to actually thank them for our failures, or the lessons that I've learned, I should say. And I'll take some time throughout the next 5 to 7 minutes. I won't touch on everybody, don't have enough time, but I will touch on those who actually made a big impact on where I am today. So, thank you, Adam. Adam was my first real boyfriend. He was truly one of the nicest and sweetest boys that I've ever met. He actually taught me a lot about relationships and what I wanted and I didn't want out of a relationship. Among other things, Adam was a major influence on my love for rap music. He used to serenade me when we were younger with some T.I., Twista, and pretty much anything with Eminem and Dr. Dre. So thank you, Adam. I ended up breaking Adam's heart when I went off to college. And I was in a sorority, and he was back in Kansas City, so I really had no other option but to break up with him. However, I did get my first few lessons with that relationship with Adam. Thank you, Ivan. Ivan and I dated off and on for about 2 years when we were in college. Ivan was rugged, he was smart, but there was always something with Ivan. Like, he was never satisfied, ever, and he always wanted to argue and always had to be right. He was arrogant, but at the time that was kind of attractive, and He was also funny, and he made me laugh. However, without Ivan, I would have never known that frat guys just aren't my thing. And I would have never known that the guys who think that they're more attractive than anybody else in the world aren't my thing either. Our on-again, off-again relationship really set me up for my next few relationships. I learned to be strong. I wasn't going to take anything from anybody. And little did I know that this strength would be key to my relationship a few years later. Thank you, Phil. So that poem, that beautiful poem that I cited for you guys at the beginning of the speech, that was for Phil. He was attractive, funny, and just great to be around. We started dating my second semester of my senior year in college, and we dated for about 6.5 years. I learned a lot from our relationship, both good and bad, mostly bad. However, looking back, I learned a ton, and when I think about everything and putting it all into perspective, I just really need to thank Phil. We went through some great times, and we went through some bad times. At one point, Phil had lost his job, so I really encouraged him to learn how to code, and I actually got him a job at DEG, which was really great. He got to work on great client accounts, and there was one in particular that he worked on in St. Louis, or they were in St. Louis, out of St. Louis, and it was awesome. He was actually in it, and he was really engaged. He ended up really, really liking this account. He would go on road trips to St. Louis, and at the time I didn't know this, but it wasn't actually for work. But he had really met some great people there. Okay, so turns out he spent lots of nights away, and you can probably already guess where this is going. But he started getting really defensive, and it was about that time when he would call me crazy and insane for asking, "Who are you texting so late at night?" And at the end of the day, he taught me a lot about relationships and what not to do to somebody that you love. So thank you, Phil, for cheating on me. And I say thank you, and I'm kind of kidding, but I'm kind of not, because all of these experiences have really taught me who I am today and who I want to be with for the rest of my life. And without them, I wouldn't be marrying the man of my dreams in literally 22 days, and I wouldn't be as happy as I am, and I don't know, I just feel really great to have experienced it. So when I think about past relationships, everything, as cliche as it sounds, does happen for a reason, and I can't wait to marry Mr. Matt Olson and be his wife. And by the way, he's a really good kisser.